Hello, everyone. Rabbi Abe here. A question that I get a lot from people on YouTube and in other places: how can I get more? If it's more abundance, usually it's about more success in life, money, but it could be more of anything else. I'm not having enough love in my life. I don't have the right relationship, or something else is going on where there's a lack. There's one solution to every lack in our life, and that is desire. I want to read to you from the ancient Kabbalists, and I want to explain this idea and how this mechanism works. This is something also we're going to be talking about in the next 10 weeks in our new class, Soul Accelerator. If you want to know more about that, shoot us an email or shoot us an email at info@rabbiabe.com. But he says like this: כדי להסביר המילה הזאת, צריך שתדע מקודם מהי מהותו של כלי רוחני. He says, if we want to understand how to receive in our life, we must understand the importance of a spiritual vessel. What's a spiritual vessel? In other words, what is a vessel? A vessel is a holder, basically. A vessel holds something. And so even the light of God, the creator, sustenance, we need a place for that. And that shouldn't be difficult to understand. Look at other spiritual things or non-physical matters. You need to have a vessel to be happy. If you don't have a place for that, then you can't have happiness. It's like, let's say, an idea. Can you have room for an idea if you're closed-minded? No, you don't have that space. We're not talking about a physical space. Desire is not physical. Neither is fulfillment. It's all not physical. So the feeling, the energy of happiness or the energy of fulfillment in general is not a physical thing. You can't go buy 5 pounds of success or go 5 pounds of happiness or go buy 5 pounds of security in the store. It doesn't work that way. It's a feeling, it's energetic, it's a type of fulfillment. Fulfillment is non-physical, and it rests in a non-physical place. We call that a spiritual vessel. That's what the Kabbalists call it. And he says we have to understand what the importance is of a spiritual vessel. כי בהיות הנאצל מקבל את השפע חיותו מן המאציל, הנה בהכרח שיש לו רצון והשתוקקות לקבל את שפעו זו ממנו. If a vessel is to receive fulfillment from the Creator, and we must understand, of course, that the Creator force is the source of all fulfillment in any way, shape, or form. Fulfillment takes on many forms, but connecting with the source of the Creator force is kind of what the Kabbalist was always after, because all fulfillment stems from that force. Connect to the root, you're connecting kind of with the seed level of all potential fulfillment. But having said that, he says, in order to understand the ability to receive, we must understand the concept of desire and yearning. So he's defining desire as a yearning. What's the meaning of yearning? Now think about that for a second. We can think we want something, but we don't necessarily do, at least not according to this definition of desire. Is every desire that we have for something a yearning? What's a yearning? How yearning differentiated from a desire that we might usually have? I can give you, maybe a crude analogy. Let's say you are on your way home and you're starving. You're really, really hungry. You have a great desire for food. You want to eat. But you're so hungry that on the way home, you know what? You make a stop and you pick up a bag of chips, maybe some soda, pop, and you're still hungry, so you maybe get yourself some, some cake, whatever it is. But you know what? By the time you get home, are you still starving? Probably not, because you kind of filled yourself with junk. Now, what we need to understand is spiritually, this operates the same exact way. We don't have unlimited desire for things, and we don't understand that we need desire to have a relationship. We need desire to have abundance in the form of money. We need desire in the in the form of let's say, as if health is an example, and many of today's illnesses, in fact, according to the Kabbalah, most illnesses, the root cause is the wrong food or the wrong time of eating, the wrong amount of eating. So, all the different areas of food, whether it's eating at the wrong time, eating too much or not enough, eating the wrong food for you. Okay, there's no one size fits all. So, in other words, food in the wrong way. Now, there's also mental issues, emotional issues, which also come from what? Physical encounters, relationships which are for the wrong reason, sex which is for the wrong reason, can be very emotionally damaging. We don't realize how much. Such a close connection, intimacy, even though it's been made today like, oh, well, it's just a good time, it's a pastime, it's whatever. No, it's not. It's a very, very personal, deep connection that two people share with each other. And if it's abused, even though superficially we say maybe some people say, oh, well, no big deal. It affects us deeply, whether we like to admit it or not. And so many emotional issues, just like food, can be the root source of many physical health issues, bad relationships, okay, or the wrong relationships, which we voluntarily enter into, and generally we know they're not the right things for us, cause us emotional distress, depression, and so on. One of the big things. Not the only thing, but it's certainly one of the roots. It definitely is, if we trace back. So, what is this desire about? I mean, how do we get to the place of yearning? And I'm going to give you the simplest idea here. No different than, when we're on the way home and we know we have a good, wholesome meal waiting for us, and that we might choose to stop for the soda pop, the cake, and the chips. We resist. Instead of fulfilling that small, these short-term desires, which I know that's not the answer for me. The answer for me is the meal that's waiting for me at home. But let's say we're not being very strong with our willpower at this moment, and we fulfill the smaller desires. Well, what happens when you get home? Do you still have that big desire, yearning for the food? The answer is no, of course not. I've lessened my desire by satiating myself with the chips, with the cake, with the soda pop. So when I get home, I don't have that starving feeling. I'm not the same level of hungry. You see, desire is not black and white. We can have 50-50, 50% desire. We can have 25% desire, depending on the amount of satiation we feel. Now, there's another aspect to this, and I don't want to overcomplicate things, but desire itself, the fulfillment of desires is really a force of fulfillment. And what that actually means is that it doesn't really have a name. In other words, it's fulfillment. When you feel satiated, you feel satiated. Hard to pinpoint really sometimes what you feel full with. Are you feeling right now peace of mind? I mean, if you're happy, what are you happy about right now? Well, is it peace of mind? Did you get some respect? Do you feel secure? Do you feel love? Okay, sometimes we think we can, categorize the good, positive feelings we're feeling. But the truth of the matter is, it's a force. It's a force of fulfillment itself. And in a very general way, and I, again, don't want to overcomplicate this idea, but we need to know that when we fulfill our desires with something that other than what we truly need in this moment. Because let's say I judge someone. Do I get fulfillment? Yes, I absolutely do. It's not a long-term fulfillment. It's not something truly satisfying that I keep, but it's good for the moment because I want to be right. That's that's like a bag of chips. Because when we satiate ourselves with energy, it takes up space in the vessel, and now I'm not really as hungry for the thing that I truly need, maybe. Maybe I need more money, but I'm satiating myself with being right, being angry, okay? Being, falling into my ego, right? I need to feel that I'm better, so I'm going to put you down. Is there satisfaction? Yes. Is it a true gratification? No. Does it truly fulfill the soul? Is it really needed? No. Yet the ego needs it. We call that a reactive fulfillment. And all the different ways that we have, and it's a lot, okay? It's a lot because, again, all the different levels of fulfillment that are not truly good for us take the space of that which truly would be good for us, okay? The things that we really need. So we fulfill ourselves in a reactive way with maybe relationships. Some of us use other people. Sometimes we're in a relationship that we know is not good for us, but we're passing time right now. What is that doing for us? It's damaging. What do I mean it's damaging? Well, first of all, it can certainly emotionally damage us. But at the very least, even if it doesn't do that, it's taking up space. It's another bag of chips. I mean, of course, the question is, what do I want in the end of the day? Am I looking for the really right relationship? Again, so often, someone tells me, I keep meeting the same kind of people, and they're all the wrong people. I ask, why? What are you settling for? What is it that you want behind the scenes? Again, sometimes unconsciously, we desire things that we don't even know that we want. Another thing that it says, within the framework of the study, it says that, we can't get anything that the creator rather can't give us anything that we don't truly want. The problem is we don't really know that that's what we want. We're generally not aware. Let's say when I was growing up, my parents would fight. I would overhear them fighting. It was very disturbing to me as a young child. And invariably, they were fighting about money. Okay? So as an older adult, I go out and I work and so on. I might feel blocked in areas of sustenance and abundance. Why? As one of the many possibilities, because I'm receiving something that I don't know that I want that's blocking more sustenance. Because I equate financial success with problems in relationships. And I like my relationship. I don't want to have fights, but I have that built in. So what am I really getting? Safety. I'm saving my relationship by not making too much money. You understand? Again, this is usually it's a very unconscious process. We're getting what we want. We might even complain why God is punishing me, why I'm not getting enough abundance. But we don't seem to understand that we're actually getting something else, which we want at a subconscious level. Let's say it's overshadowing what I really think I want. I might even need it. But still, the other thing is still, more. It's a higher level of desire because the highest level of desires will always win, whether they're conscious or not. So traumas in relationships, 20 years ago, I was in a relationship. I was so badly hurt. It really hurt my heart. And now I don't understand why I don't meet the right people. Well, yeah, could be number of reasons, but, invariably, it could very well be that I don't want pain. I'm protecting myself. So I'm getting protection. How? By not meeting someone who I can really care about deeply. Why? Because I might be hurt. And I don't want to experience that pain again. I mean, we can understand this, right? So we're really receiving what we want, which is protection. Do we not want a deep relationship? Yes, sure. We very well might, but the desire for that protection from pain is overshadowing the other desire. It's more. It's a higher level of yearning for protection, a fear not to be hurt. So what do? I mean, does that mean we're stuck? No, we're not stuck, but we do need to learn how to develop the desire. And, there are different steps to this. Of course, we need to understand the creative process. By the way, that's what we're going into beginning this Monday night, 10 weeks of understanding the creative process. But it certainly begins off with awareness. I must be aware what I'm receiving now that I don't even know that I want. And what I'm receiving is blocking me from something else that I want, but that level of desire is not quite there. And I hope this is making sense. So the first step is the awareness of understanding of, so what is that? What is it that I'm getting that's overshadowing? And of course, the other idea is, again, a different aspect of how we expand the desires. Don't fill yourself up with junk food. Don't be willing to react to things that are short-term fulfillment. Judging other people. It's a short-term fulfillment. You feel good in the moment? Yeah, you're better. Okay, that's nice. Really better? Is that something you're really going to keep? Or to the next person that I judge because I need to feel better because I'm whatever. I don't feel I'm enough. I don't feel I'm smart enough. I need to prove other people wrong. What? Because what? I'm filling myself with what? Junk food. I get angry. Junk food. I get something out of it. Or not, we'll never do. We don't do anything that we don't get some payoff. It's 99% a temporary payoff. Yes, we're getting something out of the deal. Okay? Or we're getting comfort, we're getting relief, or we're justifying, or we're getting out of working too hard. We call that laziness. But what is it that I want from being lazy? Well, I get comfort. I get freedom of responsibility. So we settle for freedom. But listen, that's not going to make you more successful. It's not going to help you meet the right people that you need to meet because your desire is already being fulfilled in other ways. You've eaten the junk food. And when you fulfill yourself on other levels of energy, we don't have the yearning. We don't have the desire that's necessary to draw down the light of the Creator, which is the real stuff. When I say the light of the Creator, it means the true fulfillment in whichever way that I need it. If it's the right relationship, if it's higher level of abundance in my life, if it's more health. Yes, we do this with health matters too. Okay? Sometimes we need excuses. I don't want to go into that. Okay? Different discussion. Sometimes a difficult discussion to have. But everything operates the same way through the same creative process. And if we're not using the creative process in our life properly, if we don't understand it, we don't use it, we can't have the right level of desire. We can't desire even the right thing that we truly, truly need. We might not even know what it really is. And so it will appear to us we're blocked, or God is punishing me, or, things are unfair. Life is unfair. It's unjust. Well, that's not the case. It really is not the case. There's a perfect balance and harmony in this universe and in our world and in our life. The fact that I don't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. But I need to understand the process. I need to understand how that tree of life operates, how the flow, the creative process, which is the flow, how things manifest in our life, how does it work? Because if I don't, I just have a difficult time and I don't know why, and things don't make sense. But when you do understand it and you understand that creative process, not only do things begin to make sense, but we gain control. We gain control, through spiritual responsibility and understanding and awareness. We get control over our life, over our relationships, even over our business or work, our employment, and even over our health. Doesn't mean there's no work attached to it, but knowing how to work is everything. Knowing what we need to do, or even what we might need to change, that's 99% of that journey. And the 1% that's left over is just doing it. Just doing it. Be blessed, guys. I hope to see you Monday night. If you're seeing this video after the fact, you can go online and ask about it. I believe we're going to be recording it, so you can check that out. Be blessed, and I will see you very soon on the next video. All the best.